it's cold this morning. Getting chillier and chillier out here. Hey everybody, how you doing today? Today's gonna be on this flea market find. Oh, I'm gonna get into this and see if I can get this sucker to run. Is that no scrap? Hey, why not? Let's give it a shot. See if we can get this thing to get back in the road, maybe give it another paint job after I'm done. If it does run, maybe strip that awful blue off there. Anyway, before I get into this, hey, please subscribe to this channel and like. I really would appreciate that. It doesn't cost anything to do so. And you'll get to get notifications if you like whenever I start working on some junk. So, yeah. Gonna be a chilly day, but let's see if we can get this thing to start. Yeah. Taking a look down here, looks like it's sat someplace in maybe some wet rags or something in a barn. Yeah, it's been sitting a while. Kickstarter, it does have compression. And it's missing a cover. It's got a funky air cleaner on it. Looks like it's missing a hose. And it's pretty beat up. And over on this side, of course, taillight's missing. There's a bracket here. First thing I'm going to show you is how to take off the seat. There's no key. As you can see, they even had on the side, scrap, no key. So I'm going to show you how you can get under that seat without tearing up the seat. And you could find a number on there to order a key. Little cracks here. Yep. All right. The first thing I want to do, I'm going to show you guys how to open the seat. Now, I've already done it, but I want to show you how it's done. And the first thing you have to do, you can pry this cover off without breaking nothing. So you just pull up from the bottom. This is going to be tucked underneath this cover. You might want to just take these covers off. Me, I already have it already popped out, but you just want to pull upward like that to pull this cover off. And to access, you can see there's the screws that hold this down. I'll show you a little trick how to get in that under that seat. So, if you guys want to wait, you can definitely get that key if you send Psycho Keys online on eBay. I have ordered keys from him before. I have never had a problem. So you just get your key, he'll cut it for you, and you're ready to go. Your lost key was no more lost. Now find yourself a little hook type screwdriver, bend it, whatever, piece of metal. And what you want to do, let's see, let's go here. And right where it latches, right here, you want to just shove it up in here, and you can play around with it. Push on it, and it'll pull the seat up. Now, I've already disconnected it. I unscrewed it off the seat, so I didn't have to worry about it again. Now, see, it's latched. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. Just reach up in there. Sorry guys, if you needed me to do this a little more carefully, leave it in the comments and I'll show you maybe a little bit better. Now, I have the latch pushed in, and this should pop out. Of course, I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time, but I'll show you. Let me show you the top view. All right, now we're looking at the top where this latch actually goes in. All it is a hook latch. And from underneath, all you're doing is you're getting in there with your tool. See where my tool is right now? And you push back. Just push that back, and you'll be able to lift your seat up. Now I'm going to stay in that same position. Unfortunately, I have it on zoom. And you can see where I'm at underneath it. I'm just pushing that way, towards your lock. That'll open your seat. That way, you're able to remove the latch until you actually order a new key. Me, I'm going to keep it in there so I don't lose it. And you can get your gas tank and the oil tank, which is right up here. Now, if you do want to order a key, I do believe if you go on eBay, there's a number right here. I do believe that's the number they're going to require you to send them. Get it at a right angle, you can see it. Like this one's 4653. So that way is the number. There we go. That's a good spot. Look at there, guys. 4653. I can order that Yamaha key. That way I'm not having to drill this ignition out or the seat holder in the ignition. Hopefully that is actually the same ignition that used to be in it. Purple. Purple rain. Purple rain. Oh yeah, I remember that song. Okay. That's that. I want to take this cover off here. This will access your battery, your fuel, and then there's some other wiring. I think your coils under here and everything else. So let me get this off. That cover off there. That's a good start. Now, you're going to need a 10 millimeter, which my 10 millimeter is right here. A spare, because you always need a spare. That thing's always disappearing. So, of course, I always like using my tools. And then there's usually one here, but that one is missing. Crack there, but this section is over there. There's the original color, guys. Look at there. It was actually red. I would have left it red. Not this Ford blue. And I'm a Chevy guy. Or GMC. GM. And there's your battery, which is kind of strange. It looks like a gel cell battery. Oh, it's a lighting battery. Yeah, while that's going up, I thought I'd tell you. Last week we had some snow. Yeah, 5 inches. I thought it was done for being out here. But today is actually 65. I'm not complaining too much. Yeah. I enjoy that weather. It can stay like that all winter long right now, as far as I care. So, for a nice strap, they used regular black tape. That's pretty creative. Look at that. Yeah, it was really creative for electrical tape. But they use a lithium. Not a lithium. Just a lighting battery. January 2010. That's probably the last time this thing was actually on the road. Now, since I don't have a key, if you want to see if the starter works, I'm going to jump the solenoid right here. This is the starter solenoid. And you can be able to jump it right here. Oh, I don't have very good lighting. Sorry, guys. Let me get some light on that for you. There we go. Yeah. There we go. There's some light. And I can't focus either. What's the matter with me? Yeah. So, yeah, anyway. You want to jump it right here. Between these two. That'll make us start. So, let's jump that. It won't start. But at least it's going to turn over and tell me if the starter's good. And if you didn't have this on there, that will tell you if the motor's going to turn over. Let's jump this. It's going to arc and spark, so contact. Ooh, yeah, look at there. It really turns over. So remember, guys, let me get a little zoom there for you. Maybe that might help. All I'm doing is jumping these two screws. And that's what's causing it to turn over. Yeah, I'll probably want to get back into that if I disconnect the coil so we can see if we have any spark. Oh, right off the bat, I'm seeing something here.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh, look at there. No wonder it doesn't have any fuel in it. The gas tank's super clean, and I was wondering why. This cap is stripped. It's plastic. Well, that stripped? Yep, it definitely stripped. So I'm going to have to find one of these. I might have an aluminum one. Aluminum to put on there. Yep. Okay, that's one problem. And, oh, look at there. Oh, see that, guys? I'm not sure if this coil is going to be any good. There's a crack right on top of that coil. Might be okay, but it's swollen. I doubt it. That's going to need to be replaced. All right. Well, we got a couple issues going on there. It might spark. But, okay, so now I'm going to bring this back down. We're going to disconnect this ignition coil, or the ignition coil, the ignition key. I want to see if we get any spark out of it. I'll show you that. Now, to get to that, I can pull this back if I really wanted to, but I can see where it plugs in. But I don't want to break this cover any more than what it is. So it looks like there's two 10mm fasteners here. One there, one over there. So I'm going to disconnect those just in order to take this cover off. I don't want to break it anymore. And it does. There we go. And there's the VIN. I should be able to look that up to find the year and what this actually is. Pretty sure it's a Yamaha Raz, but I'm not sure of the year. And I could tell by looking at this thing at one time, it looks like someone had a Harley sticker on it. I could just see in the glow, shadow of a Harley wing. So, now all I'm going to do, now I'm pretty sure that if you just unplug this, it'll make a circuit. Ooh, my. That is dry rotted. Do you see that sucker just pop off there? All I got to do is unplug this, which I'm going to be a little more careful. Actually, I'm supposed to be pushing in on it. I'm pulling back. That wasn't great, right? So let me use two hands on this, guys. I'm going to get this unplugged here. I was able to. This side, you can push this one in. That one I popped off, but I was doing it the wrong way. You push in. It pushes in the little tab here. And it unplugs it. So you push these two little tabs in, and it'll slide right out. Now, I don't think this thing has points. It shouldn't. I should be able to get a spark out of it now, as long as this is on up here. Here we go. Put that in the run position. So you got off and on, which is run. Start and run. Make sure it's in the run position. And I'm going to jump it. I'm going to try to get that spark plug off and see if we got spark. I know everyone's got a spark plug tester. I lost mine. But I have this ginormous NGK spark plug. A8. It's huge compared to the spark plug that goes in here. I like to use it because I can see the spark. I have no idea what this came out of, but works good for me. Alrighty then. Here I am holding the camera and doing this at the same time. Let's jump this. Contact. Look at there. She got spark. Awesome. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this air cleaner. Oh my, look at that. I should have taken this off first. Look at this. It's dust. Oh my, that's going to get in the motor. That has got to come off. Yes, my mistake. Regular screwdriver. Take that little clamp off. Hope I didn't suck too much crap into that carburetor or into the motor. Engine. Get my pronunciations right. Ooh. Oof, look at that. That thing is shot. Put my finger away. Yeah. this thing's on there pretty good. There we go. Yeah. We'll see. Now we're going to squirt some chemical juice in that bad boy. See if we get that sucker to start. Why not? I'll just see if it fires before I take the carburetor off. And I'm using a aerosol spray can that you can fill yourself because, and I know you guys all done this. I'm sure you've had your can, you're using it on a car, spraying something, it falls off and falls this way onto the floor and breaks off that top. Yeah, breaks off and you're like, damn it, I can't use it anymore. And you throw it away. Nah, you just got to put a little hole in there, let the air out, then cut a little hole, get one of these, fill it up. There you go. And that thing, this is replaceable. That's what I do. So, sorry. I thought I'd share. Squirt some more air in there, but let's see what this thing does. Contact. Huh. No kidding. Holy buckets. Look at there, and it sounded good. You know, I'm going to hook a little fuel to that. Well, let's see if it actually runs on fuel. Since that carburetor was empty, or the gas tank, let's just cross our fingers. As I'm looking at the carburetor to maybe stuff some fuel in that thing, I see the hose is off. Right off the top of the carburetor. Sounds like the crows are having fun out there. So, we're going to have to put that back on. That looks like a little bugger to get to. There it is right there. Yep. And my big old mitts ain't going to fit in there. I'm going to have to pull that carburetor off to do this. Huh. They're having fun outside. A crow fight. Yeah, that's right. Brandon Lee's not here. The crow. Yeah. You guys remember the movie? All right. Let's get into that and fix this little bugger. Let's get some fuel in the sucker. I got the hose on. I was able to squeeze my big old mitt through here and able to replace that piece of metal. I had to cut it off the hose because this hose is so dry rotted, I can't even bend it. It's like a piece of steel. So I just replaced the line. It's right here. I hooked up the fuel. Let's see if it runs in. I'm going to turn it on. My little spare tank here. Yep, she's running in. Yeah, well, we just might get lucky here. Hopefully that oil tank's working. I probably should mix it with a little bit of oil. I should double check it, make sure there is oil in this tank. I didn't check the fluids, guys. Yeah, it looks like she's got plenty in there. Plenty of none. Uh-oh. Oh, look at there. We've got a leak. All over the table. Let me check something here. Yep, I'm going to have to clean that carburetor. Looks like the float's sticking. Oh, yeah. But it should be enough gas in that carburetor. I was checking see if that was open, but it looks like it's pretty clogged up. Well, doing my walk around here, I like this welded washer that a piece of foil's coming out of. We're just going to let it stay and see what happens when I run this thing. It almost looks like an aftermarket exhaust pipe on there, not sure. So, let's give this thing a start. After I cleaned up the fuel, didn't want to have myself a little archy fire here. There's enough oil in the tank. Yeah, let's see how well it kind of runs. I'm definitely not going to have to clean that carburetor. It runs. Now we just got to take the carburetor off, even though it's just kind of weird, it actually runs fine. But I'm going to check it out. Let's do that. I got curious and I took off this exhaust. I'm going to have to get a light, but I like that foil in there. And it is a aftermarket exhaust. Someone had made a crazy adapter. Hey, I bet it's really loud now with that off there. I'll make my own exhaust for it. I have pipes upstairs. But, yeah. It looks like they're trying to cook something. Here's the foil. There we go. Foil muffler. That's kind of creative, though. Huh. Pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to have to take this cover off to get to that fastener back there. Drop that carburetor. See what we got going on inside that bad boy. By the way, referring back to this coil with a crack in it, it seems to be working. It runs pretty good, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it in with silicone for now. If it's working, must be just a hot and cold, probably just making a crack, but I want to seal it so water don't get in and short it out. So, we'll change that battery too. I'm working on getting this cover off over here. Get this carburetor out. I got the bottom bolt out, so this one here. 3/8. Someone used the standard bolt. Well, I took the bottom of the bolt off and it's clean. Don't look too bad in there. In fact, the needle fell out. So what I'm guessing is it's either the adjustment of the needle valve, and more likely this needle valve is dry rotted, which it feels dry rotted. I've got new ones, I believe. So I'm just going to replace this because more likely that's the problem. Rubber tip, they dry rot. I'm checking out my carburetor. I got the leak to stop, but it still doesn't run super good. I don't know what all these vacuum lines, I don't think they're all working. I looked at my stash. It looks like I got an aftermarket carburetor. The only difference is it has an electric choke, which I think I can hook up. But it has all the attachments I need. It has the vacuum, place for the oil, place for the fuel. Hey, let's put it on and see what it does. I put the new carburetor on just because it's a cleaner runner. I had it upstairs. Works very well. And I put a temporary for the electric choke. I eliminated the old manual choke. Using the electric choke, of course, you got one ground. Your ground's going to be the green, and the yellow is your 12-volt positive. Now, you're going to want to find an ignition system. I'm going to disconnect that because I forgot. This will go to probably your key ignition, somewhere where it's 12 volts when you when the engine starts. That way, it runs and it will close your choke, so you're not at a high idle. So remember, yeah, yellow is your positive, green's your negative. and it's going to be 12 volt when you have the bike running. So you'll have to go up here and find out, which one is going to be a 12 volt constant. You don't want to go over 12 volts. I think your headlight should be 12 volts. So you can probably go off the current off the wire it runs over to the headlights. All right, so what I did, guys, is I found one of those Chinese four-wheeler exhausts, and I cut this crazy welded-on exhaust off it. Kind of a neat idea. Got them by, probably. The other part fell over there. And had a little bit of a leak, so just for the fun of it for now, I put a little bit of a hams cam around it. But it's under nice and tight. A little warm right now because I had this thing running. As for the coil, I put a little bit of silicone on the crack. I was very generous with the silicone to make sure it sticks. I kind of wiped it around there, got it cleaned it, made sure so it sticks and seals it. Hey, if the coil's working, I'm going to leave it there. Just make sure it's sealed. There wasn't any more cracks that I've seen. And that's the way that goes. And Camera Girl's here today. Well, off and on. So, we're going to start up. I'm going to show you the new exhaust and how it runs with the new carburetor. I've got the choke hooked up. Until my key gets here, it's going to take a couple days. That's the exhaust. Ta-da! She lives again! Oh, she's alive! Looks like maybe 2010 for something that was going to head to the scrapyard at buy and buy from the flea market. I might finish this up and give this thing a ride. We'll put some air in the tires. And I'm going to leave the covers off. We'll just give it a quick ride because I want to paint this, do some odd stuff to it. Like I said, I want to wait for the key to come. It's not raining at the moment. Yeah. I might have to sit there for won't hurt nothing there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if this thing will actually start without a battery. I haven't done it yet without a battery. Needs to tune up. Hey, at least you ride. Oh, wrong with it. He ain't got no gas in it. Got it running better than when I did it for the ride. So you can see, I'll start it up. Contact has the wire has to be connected. Forgot. So it's running pretty good, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the key to come, hook up the wiring. It is a 6-volt system. So I'm going to have to figure out, I think the lights are working on a 12-volt system. I might have to put a diode in there because it is 12 volt from there. Put a diode in there so it actually goes to DC voltage instead of AC. But we'll get into that if I do an update video on this. I want to paint it, get the key, put it back together, and then we'll give it for a ride then. And there it is, guys. All right. Well, thanks again for coming along. Don't forget, here's your 10 millimeter. Mine's right here. The spare, because it's always gone. Anyway, that had turned into Smeagol. Anyway, you guys have a great week. We'll see you again. Holy buckets. I can't wait till this is done. We'll see ya. Take care, guys.